guys, I want to make sure I'm perfectly clear on what you should do if you're starting a YouTube or TikTok channel, okay? If you're starting a YouTube or TikTok channel, I want to make sure you're perfectly clear on how to go about it, right? Remember, like if you're starting TikTok or YouTube, remember that you might not get famous, and if you are famous, it gets hard, right? And you have to stick with it, and you have to keep going, right? That's the thing, right? You have to keep going. I mean, even like some people don't want fame. It's hard to deal with, right? I love it, but I mean, there are downsides to it and upsides, but it is difficult to deal with, right? So, but the thing is, I think you know, once you start making money and stuff like that, it does get better, and you do have a better time with it, but it is hard to be recognized by everyone. I love it, I enjoy it, I feel good about it, but there are days that are harder than others, right? I mean, I'm not sure if everybody recognizes me, but a lot of times people do recognize me. But anyway, you know, when you're trying to be famous, remember, like if you start a channel, obviously you want it to go viral. That's the point, right? You want to be famous, you want to do well, right? And you're not always gonna be that way. You're not always gonna get famous. You're not always gonna be famous, right? So when I tell you guys, you know, if you want to start a video or start a channel or whatever, it's not for everyone, and it's a hard road if it is for you, right? But in general, you know, what I always say to people is, you know, it took me 381 followers to go live, right? 381 followers. So if you go live with 381 followers, you get tips, right? So even if you don't make too many more followers, you know, you leave your videos up. You wait till something happens, right? Anybody can go viral at any moment. Sometimes a video can be totally viral by accident, right? But you get tips, and some people get money from views. I mean, if you get high enough, right? So, you know, if you're in the States or other countries that do that, we don't have the creator fund in Canada, so we can't do it here, but you know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, if your idea about being on these platforms is realistic, then you know, yes, you're going to do well, you're going to enjoy, right? If it is realistic, you know what's going to happen, and you know you're okay with what happens. And remember, guys, you need a backup plan, right? Nowadays, it's very difficult to do things unless you have like a job, or it's hard to do things without education. You know, there's lots of things that are difficult, and lots of people go through them and they deal with it as it arrives, and it's very challenging. You know, so I mean, I'm very lucky. I have 2 degrees in university and college combined. Like I had gone to both and got 2 degrees combined. I'm always exercising and dieting without plastic surgery, without liposuction, without Ozempic, and I'm doing it the natural way. And I find that not too difficult, so that's good. I find that I'm basically, you know, I have a high IQ, I'm fit, I'm strong, I come from good genes. I mean, there's a lot of things for me that are working out for me, right? And I'm not saying that can't work out for you. Some of you guys have the exact same things, or maybe better, right? But I just want you to know that when I say these things, and when I say, you know, to exercise and diet, you know, obviously if you're 300 pounds or 400 pounds, you have to challenge yourself in different ways. Start with a calorie deficit. You don't want to lose too much. You're not going to lose too much weight with exercise, because it's going to be hard to exercise. If you can exercise it that way, why not, right? But it is a struggle. Many people are overweight. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you got to do what you need to do, right? You know, and if you're overweight, you should feel beautiful. You should feel happy. You know, if you're not unhealthy, if you're healthy, you should feel happy. I mean, some people have a really hard time, but in general, you know, it is something that you can really improve on if that's something you want, right? And if you're healthy and you don't want to change that, why not, right? Who cares, right? If you want to stay bigger, that's up to you, right? If you're healthy, who cares, right? But obviously it's healthier to be thin, right? Anyway, guys, yes, so, yes, and I always want to say, you know, that it's the glam and the beauty, you know, Not everyone is a makeup artist, but you can practice and learn. You can see tutorials. Sometimes the people that practice the most get to be the best ones because they know what it's like to be bad at it and deal with the criticism. I mean, social media is about criticism and bouncing back, right? So if you're bouncing back all the time, then and you don't worry about rejection or criticism, then this is the job for you, right? Anyway, thank you guys. Au revoir. Bye now. Bye now. Au revoir. Bye now. You better.